The Anunnaki and the stolen tablets of destiny, the source of their wisdom. In Sumerian mythology, the tablets of destiny, quote unquote, or tablets ME, were a computer library consisting of a set of chips that contained all the information on war tactics, star maps, navigation routes, and also were the key to activate or neutralize all the Anunnaki spacecraft. When these beings from heaven, quote unquote, the ancient astronauts arrived on our planet, 7 main cities were initially built, which would be the strategic point of Enlil's plan to carry out his mission on Earth. These cities were located in present-day Iraq, between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers, in the region currently known as Mesopotamia. And then the Anunnaki called it the Edin region, from which in later centuries the name Eden derived. They founded their first settlement on Earth, naming it Eridu, home away from home. That's the meaning of it. The origin of the very concept of Anunnaki is interesting. The spelling of this word is the Akkadian language. Anunnaki reveals its meaning: 50 who descended to Earth from heaven. The first Anunnaki settlement on Earth was commanded by Enki, and later the city of Bad Tibira was built, which means bright place where the ore is finished. This city was commanded by a son of Enlil, Nana, which translates to male moon god. When Anu gave Enlil command of the mission on Earth, Enlil sent his sons Nana, Sin, Ninurta to Earth, and next to them came Ninhursag, Enlil's stepsister, his mistress, and Ninurta's mother. It was in this city where Ninurta had her twin sons, Shamash and Ishtar. The next city that was built was Larak, which means seeing the bright glare. It was a beacon city whose function was to guide space shuttles through a corridor of lights. This city was commanded by the other son of Enlil, Ninurta. The fourth city was built was Shipar, the bird city. A very important hub, it was a spaceport where craft departed with gold cargo. This city was commanded by Shamash, the god of the sun and of justice, grandson of Enlil. The next city was Shurupak, meaning the place of supreme well-being. It was the medical center of the mission and led by Ninhursag. The sixth city would be Nippur, the terrestrial place of Nibiru. That's the meaning of it. It was the control center of the mission and was led by Enlil, the supreme commander of the mission. In this city was also the transmission center with its home planet Nibiru and with the space shuttles that orbited the Earth, the Igigi. It was a bright chamber called Dirga, meaning the sacred one among the sacred ones, located at the top of the tower with several antennas called Dur-Anki, meaning the sky-earth link, as can be seen in Sumerian representations. The seventh city was built was Lagash, meaning seeing the halo in 6, the first beacon city that would guide the flight route from Nibiru. In Nippur, the Me tablets or destiny tablets were hidden in Dirga. These tablets were approximately 60 units and were a kind of electronic library containing the source of vital information for the Anunnaki. These tablets were the key to activate destructive weapons, control spacecraft, or direct any Anunnaki technological device, in addition to being depository of knowledge in laws, decrees to govern technology, medical, military techniques, defense methods to submit to the population, and many more keys reserved for the Anunnaki elite. In the Sumerian text, there is a story called the myth of Zu, an Anunnaki considered as a demon of a clan different from the rest. The origins of this being, known as Pazuzu, are not very clear. According to Zechariah Sitchin, The Igigi found Pazuzu when he was just a small orphan, and they adopted him. They taught him all the secrets of space and how to use transport ships around the Earth. Pazuzu, or Zu, means he who knows, and was also known as Anzu, he who knows the heavens. He was the god of the evil wind and the storms. He was a carrier of plagues, pests, and fevers, pestilences and fevers. The Sumerian represented this being with a stylized body, with bird claws on the feet, eagle wings, and a lion-like head, although some physical characteristics could be reptilian. The Igigi named Pazuzu as their emissary and bearer of their demands before Enlil, and they then sent him to Nippur. Enlil was aware of Igigi's discomfort for his long stays in space, and he suspected a revolt on his part. From this, the myth of the Titans, the great astronauts, the fallen angels were born, who were demons. Enlil, advised by his brother Enki, took Pazuzu as a servant in Dirga, the most sacred of the sanctuary of Nippur, to appease the Igigi. But Enlil was betrayed. As soon as he could, Pazuzu stole the ME tablets of destiny in order to replace Enlil from his reign. Quote, "I will take the heavenly tablet of destinies. I will govern the decrees of the gods. I will establish my throne. I will be the master of the heavenly decrees. I will command the Igigi in space." End quote. Pazuzu took cover in the mountain of the chambers of heaven, the Hursak Mu. After the assault, the alarms went off. Many of the Anunnaki devices, technologies, and knowledge were rendered useless. Fear seized the mission and the Anunnaki population on Earth. In the ME tablets were the stellar routes, where not only the orbits of the planets were drawn, but also the navigation coordinates of the Igigi ferries and the routes of their starships. Quote, "The divine formulas were suspended. The glowing light went out. The silence prevailed. In space, the Igigi were stunned. They had taken the shine of the sanctuary." End quote. Whoever owned the ME tablets would rule the heavens, the shipping routes to Nibiru, and would govern Igigi. In this way, all shipments of gold could be controlled by the Pazuzu, and the Pazuzu would rise to the new king as a new king on Earth. This was the plan. Fear and darkness arose in the Anunnaki of Earth. The great sovereign of Nibiru, Anu, commanded to capture Pazuzu and recover the ME tablets of destiny. Enlil summoned the Anunnaki for this purpose, but everyone feared failure because of Pazuzu had also stolen Enlil's glitter, which must have been a type of a weapon that made Pazuzu twice as lethal and impenetrable, and as powerful as Enlil himself. But the brave Ninurta, son of Enlil, took the initiative and went looking for him by arming his ship with the, quote, 7 whirlwinds of wind that shake the dust, end quote, and a Tiyu, a kind of a projectile. Ninurta defeated Pazuzu and recovered the ME tablets. The order was restored. Pazuzu was sentenced to death and executed by Ninurta in a ceremony where they dressed Pazuzu as a bird. They dressed him as a bird because of his Igigi origin. This served as a warning to the Igigi. The only sovereign of the mission and of the earth is Enlil. And Ninurta became the most worthy and main warrior of Enlil, and he was awarded by Anu and Enlil with new celestial craft and weapons. Enlil handed him the deadliest armor of the Anunnaki, the IP, a weapon with 50 heads that kill, destinies according to the destinies, tablets of destiny. Pazuzu had to become a mythological demon propagator of pestilences to the height of great creatures of the night like Lilith, the demoniac goddess who usurped newborn babies to their mothers to devour them. However, contradictory to what might be expected, the Sumerians used the figure of Pazuzu as an amulet against sorcery and as a protective talisman against the demons that at night brought babies out of their cribs. And this is according to Soul Ask. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box